welcome back to Tisha's DIY. So today we are going to be laser engraving and cutting acrylic sheets using the X Tool M1. So, and this is a 10-watt laser machine that I have, and I was able to do some of these acrylics, and I was going to try to recreate it. This was actually a mess up that actually turned out really, really beautiful. So I'm gonna see if I could do it again. I don't really do acrylic, so this was my first time ever cutting and engraving onto acrylic. So hey, I think that turned out really great as a first try, even though it was not intentional. So what I am doing is getting up my pieces here, because like I also did this coffee one the same way. So I was able to do two just like it, using one sheet and of the black, and the black is pretty easy to use, and it did like a deep engraving on the inside. So I thought that was really, really nice. And then I'm going to add a keychain piece to the end of it to make it a keychain where you can attach to your keys, your book bag, your pocketbook, or so, and so on. So I did come into a mess up though, and when I did the yellow, it came out like a little burnt, and I don't know if I got like clean it up or what, and I noticed that the engraving did not go all the way through. So I'm definitely going to try that again for that butterfly yellow. And then this boo, so my Casper the Friendly Ghost, he did great too. He cut on one side, but I noticed that on the other side it didn't really go all the way through. So like I'm gonna flip it over and show you, like it didn't go all the way through to the other side. So I'm going to try to correct that before making it again, just to see how it turned out this time around. And I'm gonna try my best not to mess with the settings too much. However, you know, I gotta figure out what happened there. So the acrylic sheets that I'm using, I actually got them from Amazon, and it didn't cost too much. I was able to get, I believe it's like a pack of 6 or 12 if I'm not mistaken, but I can only use certain colors. But again, this black one was very, very easy. It's 3 millimeters, and I was able to use the Cricut system to actually put in there under the material, the 3 millimeter black acrylic. So I pretty much used that setting. So yeah, I just want to share all these pieces. Give me a second. Try to hook it together. But anyway, so that's what we're going to try to do again. So I'm going to try to zoom in, recreate it. Just get into it so I can show y'all, because if you're here, if you watch this video, then 9 times out of 10, you either have an X Tool M1 or you're looking to get one. So I don't want to hold you up too much long. Again, this is my first time, so well, this now will make my second time doing acrylic. So I'm see if I can do it again and fix my mistake from the last one. So I just zoomed in because it helps me to see better, and I noticed that no, that side didn't cut out. So what I'm going to do, so instead of it cutting it, it actually scored. So I got to change it from score to cut, which is what I just did. And I'm going to turn my camera over a little so that you can see what I just did. So I clicked the cut because it was on score, so it was only scored it. So now that it's on the cut, it should cut through. I'm gonna let y'all see how this turns out, but I'm just gonna walk y'all through. But anyway, when you go on the materials, you have this huge selection to pick from. I try to stay within what's already there. However, there's like so many things, and you can also put in your own settings. But lucky for me, when you go to the acrylic sheets, you'll see all these different colors that you can actually engrave and cut, and I was able to just find a 3 millimeter black acrylic to use. So that's what I used, and I just went from there, and I did change my settings just a little bit to get my thickness in millimeter. So once I got my thickness, I went in and changed the power from the original. So I was at like 30, and at the end of the video I will go more into detail about that, because you'll see what happened. But at the end of the video I'll show you. But these acrylic sheets, though, again, I got them from Amazon, and they come in a variety of different colors. But I noticed that, I was told and I heard that you can only engrave and cut certain colors. Now, I don't know how true that is. Again, this is like new to me. However, I did try to cut and engrave onto the pink, and it did not turn out well for me. I tried different settings, and it still did not cut. It still did not go through. I just got basically a score. Basically, I had like a little indent there, but it was nothing major to actually say this is a finished product. So I'm gonna keep trying at it for the pink, because I know pink is like a big color that a lot of people like, especially our females, our women. So I'm gonna try to keep on and see if I can get that pink to cut. I know that, if I'm not mistaken, it was colors like the pink. I believe it said something like a certain orange. So yeah, it's different colors. So just do your research. But yeah, that's what I heard. So, but I'm gonna try it again and just see what happens. So I was able to laser engrave on this leather. Like, I just want to show y'all that I actually sold at an event. So I went to a Cantaloupe festival, and that's why I sold my items at. So I was able to sell that notebook, that leather notebook that I engraved myself at the event, and I thought that was really, really cool. The customer was so happy, and she just thought it was just the nicest touch for her to add to her collection because she loves to write. So I have more coming, so I can engrave on more. But anyway, back to the purpose. So I would frame this, however, it's on a whole sheet, so I was just going to cut it. But then I realized that I need to go back and refresh because I actually used this sheet already. So when I realized that, I went back, and as you can see, I went back, and I'm going now to move the design over so that way it can cut a new piece. So that is what I'm working on now. So give me just a second to move it over. I don't know why, y'all. I don't know why I didn't just use the computer, my laptop, to move the design over just by dragging and clicking. I went and I manually moved over the acrylic sheet. I know, smart me, right? Anywho, it is what it is. The job is done. So I'm just sliding it over before I process it, and it took a bit. So once I get it slid over correctly, I'm also going to go over to inside of the machine to show y'all exactly what is under it and how I have the setup on the inside of the machine to help with the piecing of it. So now that I have the placement on the new sheet, is on that brown sticker, I can process it. But this is the inside of the machine, y'all, and I'm not going to touch it because I just lined it up. But this is just me showing you where I'm using a acrylic on top of risers. So I'm putting the acrylic sheet on top of risers, so that way when my cutout is done, it just fall right through, and it wouldn't mess up my laser base, because I have messed up there. If you can see the OLLY that's up under it, actually says Molly. So yes, the risers are very important. All right, so now we're gonna go over and process the design so it can start cutting. However, this takes, the machine will tell you that it's like 22 minutes or so, but it actually took longer than that, and you'll see that here soon. But yeah, so when you hit the process, down at the bottom says 22 minutes, but at the end of this, so I'm gonna fast forward through this part because that's a long time, but it did not take 22 minutes. It was actually like 10 minutes more, if I'm not mistaken. But once we hit the button here, and again, for anyone who's new or looking to get this machine, then there is a button. So this machine, it has so many great safety features that I love about it. So it so you never leave your device unattended, for one. However, there is a button on it that I'm going to show you. So it's the button that you use to frame. It's also the button that you use to pause. It's also the button that you use to start, and it's also the button that you use to stop. So this button is very, very important, and I'm going to show you the button that I'm talking about exactly, because I want to make sure that you know exactly where it goes to for this button, because I had to press it quite a few times. So now that I sent it, it even prompts you to press the button. Okay, the button. It prompts you to press the button. So the button is right on the front and it glows. And again, so if you the first sign of fire, the first time something doesn't look right, I suggest that you hit the button. Okay, you hit the button. Because don't be like me, as you about to see. Like, I seen flames, and on this project here, there was flames. But I was just like, no, maybe that's part of it. Again, this is like my first time doing it, so I was like, no, maybe that's part of it. So I ignored the button. But note to you, click the button. All right, so now we're done with that. It's like, it's not looking so good. Like, it's coming through, it's not looking so well, but I'm still going through the process because I want to show you all how it come out. And I'm actually interested to see how it come out. And we're already at 26 minutes, which is over the 22 minutes already. So that's I'm nervous at this point. I am nervous because I'm looking at these and I remember like these was coming out kind of neat. So I was like, wait a minute, that it looks a little different. However, we're gonna go along with the process. I'm nervous to see what it's gonna come out like. And yeah, here we are, 33 minutes and 32 seconds later, and it is complete. And I am nervous, so I'm letting y'all go look at it. I'm just gonna gently move my camera over so I can see the opening flap, so that y'all can see it. But guys, this did not come out as expected at all. Like, it is a mess. It literally melted, burnt, warped. Like, it, look at that, just chalky ashes. So yeah, that was not it. I do not, at the time, I did not know what happened. I didn't know why it did not come out like the first design. I know, give them the clean cuts like you see over there on the left. Like, I don't know what happened over here to the right. It didn't even go through. Like, I'm gonna flip it around to show you. It didn't even go through to the other side at all. Like, at all. Like, what happened? So at this point, I was just like, okay, cut the video, don't even add this. But it's trial and error. Things happen, mistakes happen, but you gotta keep going, keep trying, keep showing up. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not giving up on it. Again, this was just the first time. So I'm gonna try it again. So I was just like baffled that, like, what happened? So I was originally going to show you all at a later time how this turned out, but I remember that there's a pause to YouTubing and time lapse. Thank God for time lapse. Okay, and so I was able to actually record later on at the end of this video. Here from this day, I was able to, on a different day, to record to show you all the correction that I made and how it came out as it's supposed to. And so stick around to the end of the video to see what I did to correct this horrible mistake. Because that, yeah, my Casper is looking a little ghosty. So yeah, anyway, if you're still here, thank you. Please consider subscribing to my channel, as I do post when I can. But please subscribe and like and comment and help me to just build up the community that I'm looking for my craft fam, because I love crafting and I love learning from other fellow YouTubers, and I also teach myself, so I feel like we all can help each other. So consider hitting that button. So here we are on a different day, and I decided to do I'm doing a keychain for someone, and it just completed, and it only took 6 minutes and 12 seconds for this one. And I changed the settings, and I'm going to show you all the exact settings I changed it to, so that way you would know what to do for your project. So do as I say, not as I do, I guess that's how the saying go. Well, it applies to in this case. So it's complete, and I used the yellow. So I'm gonna go over to show you all how it turned out, because I'm super excited to see how it turned out, to show you how it turned out, because I knew I would figure it out sooner or later. It just got to play with the settings a little bit, to figure it out. But I'm opening my flap here. As you all can already see, you see that clean cut around it. Yes. Okay. So this is definitely not like what you see going on over here to the left. Because over here, so I noticed that it didn't even go through the yellow. So when I first did this, it didn't go through. It only engraved on the top. So that's because the system automatically sets it to 30%. So my engraver, it automatically set it to 30% power. So I was like, okay, no. So I increased my power to 65 for my engraving. So that's what I did. And again, I'm gonna show you all the settings just in case you want to screenshot it. But yeah, I increased it to 65 for my engraving, and for my cut I stuck with the 100 power, but for the speed I changed that from 7 to 4. So, and that was what made a difference, and it literally cut clean right out, no problems, nothing. Like, it's beautiful as expected. Even have the engravings, and they're really nice, to the point where I'm going to color the inside of that before removing the film. I'm going to paint the inside using the acrylic paint. But yes, that is nice and neat, and I'm super happy about that, and I can't wait to package this up to actually send it out, because I'm actually sending this to someone, to a customer. So I'm so happy that it turned out exactly as it should have. And I'm thinking about adding some epoxy over it, maybe cut out some sticker vinyl, some permanent vinyl maybe, to put on there, and then put epoxy over it. That's what I'm thinking about doing to top it off, make it look more professional. We'll see. But for the cut, like I said, I changed the power to 100. At the speed, instead of 7, is at 4 with 4 passes. So the system automatically has 3 passes. So I put 4 because I noticed at 3 passes with the original, it did not, like you seen with the Casper, it did not cut all the way through. So I just added 1 extra pass. So I did 4 passes, and it did the job well done. I'm super happy with that. And then for as the engraving, so let me click so I can show you all the engravings part, and just take a moment to screenshot if you need to. And again, this is for the laser cutting for the 3mm yellow acrylic sheet. And for the high rays, I just put no, but you know it's there. But yeah, so again, screenshot. Oh man, I gotta get my ankle together. I'm like super happy right now, cause like, yeah, but that's the difference between that. So instead of 3 passes, just change it to 4. I'm so excited, I don't even know what to do with myself right now, other than keep showing y'all the next thing, which is the engraving. So let me click on the engraving. Let me click it to show y'all that, so you can screenshot it. So again, it automatically sets to 30. So I changed the power to 65 instead, and the speed I left it at the 130 with 1 pass, and the lines per centimeters at 100 I left as is as well. However, I would suggest, if you want a deeper engraving, to do 2 passes instead of 1. For a little bit deeper engraving, but 1 was fine with me because I'm just painting over it anyway. So the 1 was fine, but if you want that natural acrylic, deep engraved look, then I would suggest doing 2 passes, no more than 3. Now 3 is gonna be deep, so now I take that back, no more than 2. But that's how it came out, y'all. And again, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I am here for all suggestions. I'm here to connect. Also, y'all, if you're not following me on Instagram, please check me out on Instagram. Help build my following on Instagram as well. I follow back at Beyond Branding CM. That's Beyond Branding CM. That's my Instagram. I'm trying to build my community over there so that I can have a little bit more feedback and talk to y'all a little bit quicker that way. And if you're interested in orders, just message me, because this came out really, really nice. And I do have a website. I do have a storefront here in Lewisburg, North Carolina as well. But yeah, so now I just gotta do a little cleanup because it did give off like some residue there. So I'm gonna take some alcohol and just go and gently clean around it and then add my paint. And